And good morning. And with these migrant counters now down along the southern border, agents say that they are ramping up these efforts to dismantle human smuggling operations. But they do say that smugglers are now becoming more sophisticated, now using tunnels as a broader network of illegal entries along the southern border. Now, we got the chance to join the Marine unit in the RGV sector. These agents are viewed as really the first line of defense against illegal immigration and drug trafficking into the U.S. Now, the area that we joined agents was common for smugglers to use rafts to get migrants across the river and onto U.S. soil. But it's not just rafts anymore that agents have to watch for. Smugglers have now taken their operations underground. Along the banks of the Rio Grande, we actually approached a makeshift tunnel that smugglers had been using and building out. They actually even installed a pipe before agents were able to locate this tunnel and then seal it off with cement. Agents tell me that it was only halfway completed and never fully operational, but it is one of the many along the banks of the Rio Grande that smugglers are now adapting their methods along the border. Then smugglers also are now using a drainage system in that same area that's now Border Patrol agents were able to block off with a cage. They had to build out a cage because smugglers were continuing to not only use that drainage system, but they were building out tunnels nearby, and cartel operatives say they're still attempting to repurpose it. You could also see fresh cuts that were being made along that drainage system and the nearby tunnels. Clear signs that smugglers are testing weak points along the border, and smugglers never stop along this system. They're also digging out makeshift tunnels along that drainage system, just finding any entry point to bypass Border Patrol agents. Take a listen from one of the agents from the Marine unit had to say about these tunnels.
Once they start digging holes like that, you gotta be extra careful and not just look at the actual drain, but look around, and that's how we found that other one.
Agents say that they're remaining extra cautious with even more tunnels being built out. Once agents uncovered it, they even found some with 2x4s reinforcing the walls, and even with a wooden door, showing just how much effort has gone into the construction. Agents tell us that smugglers go into the middle of the night attempting to build out these tunnels. What was interesting, Marni, is this was my first time in my years reporting on the border seeing tunnels along the banks of the Rio Grande. I've only seen the tunnels from the Mexican side in Juarez that led into El Paso. So once again, just showing how smugglers are adapting to the new crackdown on illegal immigration on the border. Marni.
Right. And to that point, I mean, they are getting more creative, Jorge. They're using the tunnels and also rafts to evade Border Patrol. What are some of the other ways they're staying a step ahead of Border Patrol in all this?
So while we were embedded with the Marine unit, agents say that the Marine unit there in the RGV sector is really one of the most dangerous jobs within Border Patrol. So while migrant encounters on the ground are down and the border is quiet, those agents with the Marine unit are the ones that are actually constantly being watched and monitored by smugglers and cartel scouts on the Mexican side. These scouts and cartel members actually use homes and buildings along the banks of the Rio Grande. These are vantage points to always be constantly monitoring the movements of Border Patrol agents. We were taken nearby this home here, which you're looking at. This is along the banks of the Rio Grande. It is one of the many views by scouts to monitor law enforcement from a distance. Now, the second floor of that home actually had a one-way mirror, which I found extremely interesting. This allowed scouts in that home to watch agents while also going undetected. From there, they also have this advantage of actually communicating to smugglers and scouts exactly where to find those weak points to smuggle those groups of migrants. And it's not smugglers just going underground. They're still using the river too. During our ride along, Border Patrol agents showed us what they call a landing area. This is where smugglers use rafts to bring migrants across. We can actually still notice fresh footprints in that area, where agents say that that area was actually just used the day before we even arrived. So it's not just tunnels that remain critical crossing points. It's also these landing areas that we got to witness ourselves.
We come here every day, and you'll notice different things on the landings. So, for example, if we come here and check this landing wasn't used yesterday. We come the next day and there's something there.
And Marni, once one of the key kind of differences already from the previous administration to the Trump administration when it comes to illegal immigration is that before, smugglers would actually move in these groups of migrants, and these migrants wanted to turn themselves into Border Patrol agents because they would be paroled into the country. Now, that has completely changed. So smugglers are now smuggling smaller groups of migrants, but they are now looking to completely evade authority. So that's something that authorities say that there now is a bigger focus and shift on under this new administration, Marni.
All right, Jorge, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.